Hi, everybody. This is Carol from Healthcare Potholes with Christian Faith. Sorry I'm running a little late tonight. I want to thank everybody for the views for my YouTube videos. Um, I want to talk about talents. Now, just what is a talent? Okay. Now, when you have the Bible, God will talk about your talents. He will close doors and open doors. And that's what I'm going to primarily focus on. And one of the things that he likes to do is get things in a row, like your ducks in a row. And I'm sure we've all heard that. And it's where he's trying to open certain things. It may be that you should get that position, but someone is still there and hasn't retired yet, and they may take 6 weeks before they retire, and he's kind of helping them out into retirement so you can slide into that job. But you'll have to be patient during that time. So this is what I'm going to talk about is talents. When I was a young girl, my doctor, when I was in the hospital battling all my kidney infections from reflux, he and high fevers and being packed in ice, in and out of the hospital 32 times, and two major kidney surgeries, and then the third one when I was 26. So he would pick me up, carry me in his arms down to the nurse's station. He would say, "This is the next nurse here." And he'd get the nurses to look at me, and they would say, "Oh, okay." you know. And then as I got older, he says, "You're really good." He says, "You have a lot of compassion. I really think you ought to be in nursing or medicine. Maybe I should pay for your med school." I should have took him up on it, but I didn't. Because at that point, Carol had tunnel focus of wanting to be a nurse. I was told if he got me through this, that I was going to go into nursing. That was with my vascular collapse. He used to say when he'd come in and round after I was revived, he would say, "I want you to go into nursing. I think you'd be good. I think, I pulled you through for becoming a nurse. And then he also would say to my mom and my grandma and great grandmother when they were in the elevator, he says, "Where my hands leave off, God's hands take over." And I want you to keep that in the back of your mind, where your doctor's own hands leave off, God's hands take over. And that's what happened with me that night. That's the only reason why I'm here today, is because Jesus came down and guided that line in. If he had not done that, I would be in a cold grave right now, down in Genesee, PA. So I'm just saying that's, you know, um, an important lesson to learn. So, anyhow, talent. I was tunnel focused on nursing. I remember a bunch of my friends my senior year were getting together discussing what we were going to do when we graduated. And quite a few of them went into nursing. I had a few ahead of me that went into nursing and medicine. Um, and then I had some that became doctors in my class. And then I had a bunch that went into teaching. And we all picked different things to go into. Some worked at local stores, stocking shelves and being management. And so we had all different walks of life. Someone opened up their own lawn service company and is doing really well. And so someone went into the Navy and ended up with multi things, doctor, lawyer, different things like that. So it's all seeds that God puts in our mind. Some went and worked at the auto industry. I mean, it's just a lot of different talents out there. Now, I can remember saying to certain people, well, all the way through school, I played an instrument. I was third grade. I got my flute. Parents struggled to pay for my flute. And my brothers played drums, both Gary and Ray, and Gary played bassoon, and Ray was percussion. Ray was more interested in sports than he was marching band, but he played the drums, and my mom gave him drum lessons, and um, but talent, I had no rhythm. I was think of a funny angel with no rhythm and no voice for singing, and that's me. I cannot carry a tune for the life of me, and I have always been offbeat. And I always said, "Well, I'm beating to my own drum." And that's true. We all beat to our own drum. And so as I got older and graduated from high school and started to, we started to apply for colleges in high school, and I kept getting rejection after rejection after rejection. And it was one of those things that was just really, really super sad. And it was like I felt like no one wanted me. I felt very, I don't want to use the word henpeck, but it was sort of like that. And then I thought, okay, I want to be a nurse, but isn't working out. I can't be a nurse if I don't go to college. And I've had all these letters of rejections. And so it was earth shattering. So I decided I would go the community college route. And I went up and I went in and paid for my credits and started to do that so I could get to become a nurse. And I looked into various community colleges that had nursing programs close by. And so I took myself to that community college. And then my dad came to me and he wanted me to go to State University in New York at Buffalo, where he had graduated in business and had his business degree, bachelor's in business and accounting. And he thought that would be good for me to go there. And of course, they had a nursing program, and I got into some clinical my summer there. And then I went from there to back to Mott, and then I went to Rochester Community College. Now, I had also gotten my medical assisting certification in amongst all that and worked several jobs during that time. Sometimes I carried 3 jobs during the summer. It just all depended. I was going nonstop. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. And so, one thing I learned is that God closed those college doors that He didn't want me to be at, and He opened the ones that He wanted me to be at. And I can say that God works in mysterious ways that we don't quite understand, and we will never understand. And I wonder if it's like that up in heaven. Um, He just seems to show up when you need Him at the right time, or He sends a messenger at the right time. And people have a hard time understanding that. But it's just like with jobs. He will open up doors at the right time. He will close doors. You may be going along thinking you got the best job in the world, and then all of a sudden your manager comes to you and says, "I'm closing the business." And you're like, "Oh no, this isn't good." So you're devastated. And you're like, "This isn't good, this isn't good, this isn't good." And then you find out they sold the business out from under you, and you have to leave because the new management doesn't want to keep any of the old people. It's just how they are with their management skills. You just have to accept it and move on. And I'm hoping I'm reaching a group of people that are going through difficult times. Right now, our economy is so bad. Inflation is so out of control. Gas prices are out of control. And all of a sudden, there is no income in your kitty. And you're like, my Social Security, I would like to put all these presidents, vice presidents, senators, House of Representatives, all on an income that I make and see if they can survive. I'll tell you right now, that would change so fast. Okay. Same with my brother's income because you have to pay into Social Security to get Social Security. And they're going on, well, it's going to be insolvent. Well, they should not give people an option whether to take Social Security or not. They need to be paying into it. If they have a job where their management is there, they need to be paying into Social Security. That's the way you keep it solvent. Okay. Bunch of idiots running the government lately. So, anyhow, in God will close doors and he will open doors. If he thinks, okay, I had two catalytic converters stolen my last job. I had to pay those deductibles. It wasn't cheap. My dad had I think it was $1,000 deductible. And so I was having to come up $1,000 every time someone took my catalytic converter to get it replaced. Yeah. I mean, I had to pay towing, and I was in downtown Detroit, and there wasn't a dealership down there. I had to tow it from Detroit to out towards where I lived. That was a big towing bill. I had to have it replaced. My car was down. Um, I had to change my mom's appointments around because we didn't have her wheelchair lift, scooter lift. Well, it was in being fixed. So there was a lot of things that were playing into that. But I'm just saying that when doors close, other doors will open. Now, I have gone since 214 without a job. This is 223 now. And I've been sporadically looking for a job. And I went to the disability people to try to have them help me find a job, and they were useless, basically. Never sent me over jobs, never did anything to help me find a job. I don't have any contact for the last month from them in December. Oh, we'll be talking to you twice a month. Where was that twice a month? Mm-hmm. So, anyhow, I went back to my ticket to work program and I complained. Still didn't get anywhere. Still haven't found a job. So, you know what? I'm going to trust the big guy up there to help me find a job. So, anyhow, in the meantime, I had opened up my business and we're working on the business. And people are saying, but you haven't sold anything. Right? I haven't sold anything because I have a bunch of naysayers in my family and some friends that are naysayers that are not supportive of my dream of opening up a pet supply business that I had back in the 80s to have horse supplies and dog supplies and everything else under one roof. So it's very hurtful that I have a bunch of naysayers. And so today I had my appointment, and God likes to get things in line. He gets things in line. And so today, the kid that I was working with, and he is a kid, I'm 16, he's 28, so there's a big age difference. And he says to me, he says, I don't like your organization of your website. We got to work on that. Maybe that's why you're not getting any sales. I said, well, okay. I was open minded about it, made another appointment to see how he wants to organize it. And he's with the web developers and everything. And I didn't design the website, but they did. And he just doesn't like it. It's too busy for him. And so I'm like going, okay. He's sort of like Jesus's disciple. You ready for this one? Matthew, who was the tax collector. He puts me in the mind of him. Just very um, into what he does, and he does it well. But I tend to do things differently. I process things differently. A, because I'm a girl. B, because I'm a nurse. And I have a critical thinking pattern that he can't tap into. When you have an emergency and you have to code someone, you're just like that. And I got thinking, okay, I got to find what is good about him. and I gotta figure this out. Now I'm starting to get to where I'm working a little better with him, and things are going a little better, and he's getting to know me, and he's not putting up so many facades. And I do that too as an individual, so I understand where he's coming from. And but I'm grateful that he said, you know, I don't like your organization. Let's look at some other websites and see where we can make yours better. So I'm like, okay, that sounds perfect. You know, I'll be looking forward to that appointment next Monday. So these guys all that are techs all have their own little niches that they're good in. And it's kind of like how God wants us to be. He wants us to be good in what we do. We have talent. So that's his talent, is doing spreadsheets and maybe organizing. One of the other guys might be good at showing me how to take a product that's in the wrong place on my website and move it to a different spot so it's not so hodgepodge. And I had a somehow all my categories got waysided, and I had to go back and put them all in, and it took me a month to do it because I wasn't fast. And but I got it done, and I was proud of myself when I got it done. I gave myself a pat on the back, and you know, I'm thinking, okay, God doesn't want my business to be hodgepodge. He wants it to be perfect. And it's just like that musician when they go, they want to clear their vocals, they want to have good vocalization, they want to hit the note just right and have perfect pitch. And um, if you have ever watched The Voice, a lot of the coaches will talk about perfect pitch, and they're looking for certain things. And even if you look at the other one where America's Got Talent or the other talent shows, they all talk about perfect pitch. I do not have perfect pitch, and I don't have good rhythm. Those are not my talents. But other people have that. Other people have art ability where they can do beautiful artworks. I have a friend that does beautiful Jesus paintings. Oh my God. She just is wow when you see her artwork. And she does it so freely and so nicely. And she has a gift from God. And another one does pet portraits. And another one does pets on stones, and just just beautiful artwork. I mean, it's just like you're looking at a photograph of the dog, the cat, the horse, the cow, whatever it is, and it's beautiful. And you're just like, wow, they captured that beauty in that animal like you wouldn't believe. And I don't have that kind of talent. I can do stained glass, but it affected my magnesium as well. So you when you're dealing with leads and things, it's a toxic environment. So I chose not to do that anymore, and I gave up that beautiful artwork that I so love to do. Um, but I'm sure that God will open doors that need to be opened, and He closes doors that need to be closed. And when you get rejected, don't take it personally. Do not take that rejection personally. Not only is that not good for your health, seriously, it'll give you hypertension, it'll give you diabetes, it'll give you all these other things. Stress, anxiety. Don't take it personally. You cannot take it personally. You have to just let it roll off your shoulders. That door is closed for a reason. Down the road, another one may open in a few weeks or a month or whatever, because God is getting those people lined up to either quit their job, leave their job, retire, whatever the case may be. So you have to understand that nothing should be taken personally when you're walking with Christ. Okay? Because He's guiding the path for you to be happy in the end. So, with that being said, I just want to let you know that I had a lot of hard knocks getting through nursing school. I've fallen and injured my knee and ended up out at Rochester, Minnesota. And then I went to Rochester Community College out there and got my degree and wrote my boards. And, you know, God had closed certain doors that He didn't want me to have. Now, maybe I would have failed the boards many times over if I had graduated from a I don't know, but I'm just throwing that out there. I have no idea what that door was that was closed, and the fact that he opened this door out in Minnesota was good, and, it gave me a lot of good people in my life, a lot of good doctors in my life that I've known through the years, and, it's good that, he opened that door. And you got to appreciate the doors that he opens. And you got to thank him profusely for opening those doors. Because, you know, if you don't appreciate what God is doing in your life, maybe with your career, your whatever it may be that you have picked to go into, I'm like sitting here going, I have a cousin that's cutting albums out in Colorado. Her grandfather was a beautiful organist, played organ for the church, and used to play our organ when we came in, our little tiny organ, and he had a big organ at home, and he played recorder. He was a school principal. He was talented. He was an illustrator. He had a lot of talent in his body. God had given him a lot of talent. And his kids have a lot of talent. And his grandkids have talent. Me, on the other hand, I got nothing in that talent of singing. And I was listening the other day to my cousin's CD, and I'm like, God, she's got good vocals. Oh my God, can she build out a tune? I wish I could. I can't. I can't. But, you know, I need some help in getting my vocals there. And I remember saying something to one of my dad's choir directors, and he was close to my age. And I said, I just don't have any talent in singing. That's why I'm not joining the choir. He said, well, you need to come and learn. He does have a point there. So maybe I might do that someday. But that's the only way that you learn is by doing. And that is true. And I eventually worked my way up to first chair flute at one point. So, and third chair and second chair. So, and we kept challenging around between the three of us girls. So, God knows what He's doing. And you just have to trust. And you have to thank Him when those doors do open. You have to be appreciative. And I just hope that you guys all got a good lesson out of this. And I'm going to clip it off because it's at 22 minutes and I went a little over. So have a good one.